This is episode 133 of the Beyond the Food Show, and today we're going to solve the nighttime eating problem once and for all. Are you with me, ladies? Let's do this. My name is Stephanie Dodier, clinical nutritionist. I reversed my diagnosis of anxiety, depression, adrenal fatigue, and obesity by going beyond the food. I can tell you one thing, that willpower, discipline, and deprivation aren't the permanent solution to transforming your relationship to food. So how do you leave overeating, emotional eating, food craving, and binging behind you so you have the food freedom to achieve all of your goal and be happy now? As a top 25 alternative health podcast in the world, this is the Beyond the Food Show. Hello, ladies. This is Stephanie, and today I'm coming to you from a cruise ship. I had to re-record this episode because somehow the file got corrupted, and today is Wednesday, May the 23rd, 2018, and I'm on a cruise ship. I am teaching at a conference that is being held in the Caribbean Sea, and we're going from Honduras to Mexico and back to the United States. It's called a low-carb cruise. So if the sound is not the same as normal, that's why. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be with us next year. Go check it out, low-carb cruise. But today is all about nighttime eating. And this is a hot topic. I posted a quick survey a few weeks back on Instagram asking, what is your number one question when it comes to your relationship to food? And I was invaded with questions all related to nighttime eating. And we're going to break it down. But as usual, it's going to be completely different than what you're normally getting on the worldwide internet and tips about how to suppress your nighttime eating and how to control it and all that crazy stuff that we all know never works. Before we get down to this, I know that there's been a number of questions coming to me, and I know some of you are not asking questions, but you may want to know. We have the Beyond the Food Academy that is opening for public enrollment in less than 7 days. So May the 31st, we're going to open the door for public enrollment. This is my course, my core program that teaches you how to go beyond the food so you can stop overeating, stop binging, stop obsessing about food, stop emotional eating. And if you've ever looked into it, if you're not, then there's kind of two options for you. You can go with the insider membership or the exclusive membership. There's a slight difference between the two, and I'll explain that to you shortly, but you can go to the website and check it out, stephaniedodier.com/academy. The insider membership is all the basic stuff. So 12 weeks of live training with me, 12 different modules, 12 live Q&A with me where you get to ask me your question and you get a personal answer from me, access to all the master classes, all the bonus classes over and above the regular core program, plus the magnificent online community that is reserved for the student of the Academy, and lifetime access to all the course material once we're finished, the student portal, and the community. The difference with the exclusive membership is that you get coaching with me one-on-one. So that's the difference between the two. During that 12-week program, the 12 module we're going to go over, you're going to meet with me at 4 different times, one-on-one, so we can go over your personal situation or challenges and you get direct answer from me and we create a plan together. So that's the difference between the two. The vast majority of the students are doing the insider membership because I only have a very limited number of exclusive membership because there's only me. I cannot multiplicate myself. And there's tremendous amount of success. So if you go to stephaniedozzi.com/academy, you will be able to see all the reviews and the success story from our past and current student and the level of transformation that we're seeing. It's not about weight loss. It's not a diet. We actually prevent anyone from talking about any type of food lifestyle, diet, calories, exercise, or way of losing weight. This is way beyond that. It's beyond the food and it's beyond dieting. So we're going to teach you how to reprogram your mind so you can stop those self-sabotaging behavior and learn to be happy now in your current body with your current life, so you don't have to wait and put everything on hold until you've achieved your goal. So it's a pretty transformative experience. It's in depth. That's why it's 3 months. This is not like just brushing the surface, quick fix. It's far removed from that, complete opposite. That's why this is only selectively running a few times a year, because we go in depth in that program. And don't forget, I didn't mention it on the last podcast, but we have a scholarship program that is running until June the 3rd, where you can, if you are in financial situation where you need some help in paying the tuition for the Beyond the Food Academy, I am going to give away a totally free ride scholarship to the Academy, which will include the exclusive coaching. So it's a value of $1,200, and it's going to be given away for those that are registering by June the 3rd. So if you want to submit your name for the scholarship because you are in need or know somebody that is in need financially to get support, simply go to my website, stephaniedozzi.com/scholarship. And then you fill out the form and then you submit your application for the scholarship. So I hope to see you in the Academy if you think this is a right fit for you, if you think it can help you in your journey. So back to nighttime eating. I can't wait to break down that challenge with you. And it's going to blow your mind, particularly number 1 and number 5. The 2 points that I'm going to break down. You've likely never heard of those things before. So if you're ready to end the vicious battle with nighttime eating, stick with me and let's do this. Okay. Here's a crazy thing about nighttime eating that I didn't know, and I'm pretty sure that most of you don't know. It's actually medically referred to as a disease. It is called the nighttime eating syndrome, and it was first classified in 1955 by Dr. Albert Stonkler, and it's described as having no control over their eating behavior at night. They eat in secret, even if they're not hungry. That's pretty much describe nighttime eating for most people. But here's the thing. It's a syndrome, and a syndrome is a collection of symptoms. We talked about that in podcast 131. And this classifying as a medical condition to me is crazy in some way, because it is so not complicated to not crave at night if we do the right thing. I don't see the need for us to classify that as a medical condition. But as with anything in today's society, there's some kind of label we can affix to it, and then we're stuck with that label on us. So let's all peel that label off of us, and let's see at 5 steps, 5 things, 5 points that you need to look at if you are struggling with nighttime eating syndrome. The very first thing, step number 1, I told you it was going to surprise you. Eat. If you are hungry, physically hungry, you can feel your stomach demanding food. Eat. Stop fighting it. Stop trying to think that the more you prevent eating, the less calorie you're bringing, the more weight you're going to lose. That's not the way that it's working. What's going to happen when you're suppressing true hunger, I'm talking real physical hunger, and you're suppressing it, it's going to be like a bomb waiting to explode. And a number of times or days of you suppressing that hunger at night, at some point, the bomb's going to explode and you're going to start binging uncontrollably because your body is sending you a message that you need nourishment and you are not listening to it. Believe me, and we teach that in the academy, your subconscious mind is stronger than your willpower and your discipline, and this is why discipline and willpower don't work. So stop resisting, because when you resist, it persists. That said, however, when you do go reach for food at night because you are truly hungry, eat mindfully, right? Mindfully mean that we're chewing our food properly. We're putting our fork down in between each bite. We're tasting the flavor. We are using our 5 senses to enjoy the food. When you do that, you are being conscious and you will automatically reduce the volume of food that you're eating. So, if you're physically hungry, eat. Point number 2, respect your hunger, right? We talked about if we're physically hungry, eat. And that applies at any time of the day, not only at night. But you need to have a relationship with your hunger. For those of us who've been dieting all of our life, or most of our life, or maybe in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, we kind of learn to suppress our hunger and not listen to our hunger cues. It's not when we're super hungry that it is time for us to learn to have a relationship with our hunger. It is in the day-to-day life when we're not hungry or when we're starting to be hungry that we need to be able to recognize those cues and have that, what I call the relationship with our hunger. If this concept is brand new to you, you want to go and download my Crave Cure guide. And inside of that guide, it's totally free. It's an ebook. You will get all kinds of tools. One of them is the difference between emotional eating and physical hunger, how to differentiate the two. We talk about the Crave Cure formula on how to deal with emotional hunger. So you want to go back to my website, stephaniedota.com/cravecure. You can also listen to podcast 124. We went in detail about that. So learn to have that relationship with your hunger. So ultimately, you can move away from restriction and dieting, which cause you to be hungry at night like crazy because you're not eating throughout the day to your satisfaction. You can then go to what we call intuitive eating. That's a concept that we teach in depth in the Beyond the Food Academy. But basically, intuitive eating is respecting our hunger and our fullness and using our internal body cues to determine how much to eat and what to eat, and to have satisfaction when we eat through mindful eating. It's a whole concept, but the basic of it is learn to respect and have a relationship with your hunger. And that's not done at night. So it's kind of call it pre-work that you have to do during the day, every day. So when you get at night, you're not starving, needing food, and then binging. Right? So learn to have that relationship with your hunger and then eat mindfully at night if you're still hungry. We're going to take a quick break from our chat to give a shout out to our show sponsor, Health IQ. And I am so excited to be partnering with them and bringing you forward an innovative insurance company for the American listener. Health IQ helps health conscious people like yogis, runners, cyclists, weightlifters to get lower rate on their life insurance. Just like you save money on your car insurance for being a good driver, Health IQ saves you money on life insurance for living a health conscious lifestyle. Isn't it time that we get rewarded for our good health choices? Now, how do you get started? Very simply by qualifying through the Health IQ quizzes. And also, listen to this, if you submit actual training data through the various apps available, you can save additional dollars. To get started now, simply go to stephaniedodier.com/health IQ and take the test to see if you qualify. And when you get to speak to an agent, mention the code Beyond the Food to support the show. So get started now on saving money on your life insurance. Now, a shout out to our other show sponsor, Muse. And I'm very grateful to team up with Muse to bring you the first tool in the world to help you learn to meditate at home. Muse is a wearable brain sensing headband that measures our brainwave and sends the feedback to an app on our personal device. I love my Muse because it transformed my meditation practice. I wear it daily for my 10-minute session in the morning, and it coaches me through my practice by giving me real-time feedback on what's happening in my brain and helping me refocus during my meditation. I love this partnership with Muse because it brings the tool to the first timer and it helps expand the practice of the more advanced meditator. So it's time for you to get your Muse on and learn to calm your mind through meditation. And here's the thing, as a listener of the Going to Beyond the Food show, you get 15% off of the purchase of your Muse. To take advantage of this offer, simply go to stephaniedodier.com/muse. And again, the URL is stephaniedodier.com/muse and register through this URL to get 15% off. So join me in my 10 minutes meditation practice every morning and get our Muse on and go beyond the food together. Okay, let's recap. Step number 1 or point number 1, eat. Simple. Eat if you are physically hungry. Don't suppress your hunger. Step number 2, learn to have a relationship with your hunger and your fullness throughout the day. Don't wait at night to say, oh, I'm going to study what my body is trying to tell me. Do that days in and day out. So you're eating enough during the day so you're not starving yourself at night. Point number 3 is respect your emotion. A lot of nighttime eating that is quote unquote uncontrollable is because of our emotion. We rush all day long. We run like busy of things to do, and we never really connect with our emotion during the day. We just keep going. And all of a sudden we land at night and we're not nearly as busy. We're winding down. And then all of a sudden, all the suppressed emotion that we had during the day comes up, right? You may observing you replaying the day in your head, and all of a sudden you feel all kinds of emotion that you didn't really feel totally during the day. They're coming back. So realize that you may be reaching for food because you don't want to feel those emotions. You don't want to feel anger. You don't want to feel the resentment that you really didn't experience during the day that's now showing up at night. So acknowledge that and then practice what we call the Crave Cure formula, which is part of the Crave Cure guide, which allows you to what we call ride the wave of your emotion. Because one thing that you have to understand is that your emotions are short-lived. Imagine they're like a wave on the ocean. They come in, they peak, and then you feel them very strongly, and you think that's the end of the world, and then they go. So that's called riding the wave. It's an advanced concept that we teach in the academy, but it starts with feeling our emotion through the Crave Cure formula, like feeling them and breathing through them to dissipate them. So we can then move forward. What happened when we actually take the risk of feeling our emotion? They're not as bad as what we thought. They don't hurt as much, right? And we can dissipate them and letting them go. So respect your emotion. Don't try to suppress them by emotional eating. So when they come up at night, ride the wave of your emotion and release them. Number 4, we talked about that. And number 3 is this wind down aspect of night, right? We go all day. And when we get at night and then we're either completely exhausted, we crash on the couch, or we're semi-exhausted and we want to chill and relax. And it's because our stress hormone are finally stopping to be produced because we're not on the go at night as much as we are in the day. But the challenge is that stress hormone called cortisol signal to the brain that we're hungry. So we really need to have this wind down routine at night. So what is your wind down routine? Is your wind down routine to crash on the couch and be dumbed out by the TV and not feel anything? If that's what it is, it's likely why you are eating, because you are not totally engaging your mind, your body in a wind down routine. So what is a wind down routine that would prevent nighttime eating look like? Could be a walk, not an exercise walk, but a gentle walk at night. It could be outside in nature. It could just be a 10 or 15 minutes walk in the street. It could be no TV time so you can have a genuine conversation and kindness moment with your partner. It could be light yoga. It could be meditation, whatever your thing is. But make sure that you have that wind down routine to really turn off all those stress hormone and chill out your mind and your body. And you will see your desire to eat at night will be significantly reduced, as opposed to just crashing on the couch in front of the TV and not doing anything to actively wind down. The last point is balancing your hormones. Now, I purposely put it in the last because many women, self-educated women on the internet, go right to step number 5 when it comes to nighttime eating. They put the blame on their hormone, either on cortisol. They think they have a dysregulated cortisol, or they think that their leptin and ghrelin, which is the hormone that regulates your hunger, are dysregulated for them, and they need an intervention from supplements or from the outside world to regulate their hormone. Here's the thing. Regulation of hormone in the vast majority of the time, I want to venture to say 80% of the time, starts by step number 1 to 4. It starts by nourishing yourself enough so you're not starving. It starts by you winding down your mind and your body so you can regulate your cortisol. It starts by the quality of the food that you're eating so you can regulate your insulin. So really, it's step 1 to 4. And then if you're practicing all of this and you're still uncontrollably desiring food at night, then you need to seek outside intervention to regulate your hormone. But the truth is, in practice, I had a clinic for 3 years. I saw a lot of patients. 80 to 90% would not be a lie of my patient, which all had nighttime eating, quote unquote, problems. Once we ate real food, enough during the day, had a wind down routine, worked on calming their mind and their cortisol, boom. All of a sudden, they didn't have this nighttime eating syndrome, and we didn't have to do anything to regulate their hormone. So I don't want to say that it's everyone. If you're part of the 10% who do everything else, then yes, seek advice from a practitioner to help you regulate your hormone. Bottom line is this: your nighttime craving aren't the enemy. The dieting industry made us believe that it was our enemy, and if we could only stop to eat at night, life would be great. The problem is the diets that we're on creates the need for us to eat at night because it doesn't promote a whole approach. Like what we teach in the academy is called the 4 bodies, right? We have our physical body, but we also have the need to care for our mind, for our emotional body, for our spiritual body. And the diet industry never talks about that. So by ignoring the entire whole human being that we are, we then create this monster of nighttime eating. So respect yourself, respect your hunger, your fullness, work on the whole aspect of yourself, mind, body, spirit, as we say often, and then you'll see your nighttime eating will vanish by magic. So I hope it helped you. I enjoy doing this podcast with you because it is such a highly demanded topic. If I didn't answer your question that you pointed to me on Instagram or anywhere else, please reach me on Instagram. That's the best way of directly interacting with me is through Instagram DMs. And you'll find me at Stephanie Dodzi on Instagram, and you can send me a DM and I will answer to you directly to answer that question. And if you think this episode would be of any help to another woman in your life, please by any means share it. Would gladly appreciate new listener. And we have a great show coming up. 1:34 on Sunday. We're going to talk about how to stop doing what you know is causing you grief. That was another hot topic on my poll and survey on Instagram. So we're going to tackle this one. I love you girls and looking forward to hang out with you on podcast 134. Bye. Did you know that 9 out of 10 women are struggling with their relationship to food? Overeating, emotional eating, binging, and craving are real. Clearly, the solution we have been taught aren't working. I believe to have food freedom, it means that we must learn to have a relationship with our hunger so we can finally be at peace with food and eat normally without guilt or shame, which is why I wrote the Crave Cure Guide. I want to show you how to have a completely different relationship with food so that you can be in control of what you eat, achieve your goal, and be the powerful woman you were meant to be. The best part is, this book and the step-by-step process is absolutely free. To receive your free copy, simply go to stephaniedodier.com/guide and we can get started right now.